All right. Bill Burr and Jon Lovitz. I'm fresh into the podcasting shit, and I've just been seeing and I know Bill Burr, but the only reason all right, we go through my whole history every time I fucking make a thing. Anyway, I just got done watching. Well, I'm halfway through the Jon Lovitz and Bill Burr podcast. Those two fools, man, just they just been getting at it after each other all the time, the whole time. It seems like. Yeah, those cats. It's funny because I never knew Jon Lovitz's name. Like I know Jon Lovitz from like City Slickers and the Wedding Singer. I love Jon Lovitz, fucking or whatever. But it's the first time seeing him in like a podcast thing, and I didn't even know. Like I seen Bill Burr on Joe Rogan's podcast just once. That's the only thing. But I guess he has a show maybe or whatever. But anyway, watching these two guys for a while, like half the time, like an hour. Um, I don't know. They're funny, they're just ripping on each other a lot. Of course, the comedian Burr's known for fucking ripping on people and like tearing. Actually, I think the reason that this podcast came up on my fucking stream or feed is because I like Bill Burr. I love Bill Burr shit. Well, and then it's like like 10 times that Bill Burr ripped into rude interviewers or hecklers or whatever, or some shit like that. So I'm thinking this might be why it came up. But then Jon Lovitz came up, and that was one of them in that thing. But so now I'm actually watching the podcast for like halfway through it. But so I don't know. These guys they get at it. There's an element that I think that like whenever I was watching Bill Burr fucking on Joe Rogan, it seems like and I'm not gonna get too hard on it because I know it's true though because like I had a because you don't know how many times that I've had like friends and like when we used to hang out and fucking when I was cool and I had cool friends and shit and we were hanging out in a cool way. You'd be like, we should just throw a camera in this mix. We should have someone following us around doing the bullshit we do. But it's not that simple because whenever like for example, like I had one friend that's like, yeah, I was like, yeah, well, we'll just try to just throw the camera and catch some shit, here and there in our natural shit or whatever, and it'd be gold. Fucking, but there's some fools, and I guess it's hard to do that, especially for some fools. Me, not as hard, I don't think. But I had one friend. It's like, okay, we could be chilling one way. Then as soon as that camera goes on, I was like, all right, yeah, we'll just keep this in front of us and just chill like we normally would. Then all of a sudden he'd be like, okay, all right, yeah. So yeah, and you know what I'm saying? It's like goes straight to the. It's like okay, it's not going to be the same. It's completely different. So it cheapens it, to some people, some people maybe at sometimes or whatever, a little bit, even if but yeah, it cheapens it. And I saw Burr on Rogan, and they were talking about their shit. They got in a lot of their manly shit like cars. I say that manly. I don't know. I don't know cars. Fucking I don't know fighting. Joe Rogan's knows a little more about fighting and shit. But yeah, it's like and then I was seeing Burr. And then it's like, it just seemed like, I could be wrong too. It could just be his personality. It could just be those two motherfuckers talking in a room completely by themselves and fucking. But it seemed to me like, okay, what I'm saying, like, acknowledging the camera's there. Of course it's there, and especially at that level or whatever, So it's probably hard to shake that off, or anyway. But yeah, it's hard. And I've seen my own, even just me and my homeboy in the trailer park back when we were like 20. Fucking and chilling and drinking and being stupid. As soon as that camera goes up, then it's a whole different dynamic or whatever, So, I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody because I know, what I'm saying, I'm sure, it's out there. Any that's probably, unless you're really, really fucked up, you wouldn't forget it for too long or whatever, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, these two guys, they're getting at it. They're getting at it to each other. It's funny. It's fucking funny to watch. It's like they go at it. I see them. They start ripping at each other pretty good for a while there. But then they both like. I mean, of course, it's orchestrated or at least planned or whatever in some sense, beforehand or whatever and shit. So yeah, they do return to like a medium or whatever and shit. So I don't know. Like to me, it's like and like certain things like Lovitz is like the coughing that or the squirt. No, I've never been a big fan of that because I've personally have experiences with people like doing the and I'm pretty dense. I'm very dense. I'm especially like when it comes to picking up females or when it comes to like picking up any signs, I guess anywhere signs that I should be aware of and afraid and like veer away from. I'm not that it's like, well, I don't know, maybe that motherfucker was just coughing. Shit, those are, you know. So I'm not big on those things. I don't like those little subtle, unsubtle things. Like I'm not big on like the, yeah, I've never done blow before. It's like I don't know. I don't get that whole trip or that vibe or whatever. I don't like that shit because I don't know. Half the time I don't pick up on it, and half the time I just think it's indirect and weak. Could be seeming as a joke maybe, but I don't know. It's not funny to me. But anyway, I'm halfway watching through this shit for the first time. It's pretty funny. It's back and forth. It keeps me watching though. It keeps me watching for a little bit. That's for sure. But I don't know. I just wanted to comment it on a little bit. It's like I'm not sure like how much of that's like how. Okay, that's it for now.